What's up, showerheads? John and I here in the job trailer. Before today's episode, we had to record a little disclaimer. As John and I have said in the past, the internet is a dumpster fire of misinformation.
Amen to that.
The episode you're about to hear, we had some misinformation that we found on the internet. So some of the facts that we used are not accurate. We're not going to ruin the episode by mentioning it now, but don't quote us out on our reliability on information here. Yeah, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay.
We definitely apologize for sending out the misinformation.
Yeah, there's some things in here about one of the subjects that's just simply not true. We found out after the fact, but yes, the internet is full of misinformation, dumpster fire nonsense, and we, as everybody else, have found ourselves caught up in it.
Right.
So enjoy today's episode, everybody. This is just a quick heads up before we get going. Thank you for listening, and remember, your work keeps the world working.
Amen. Oh, and everybody's got a video camera in their pocket, man.
That's exactly.
My truck is not GPS tracked, and I really like that.
There are some benefits to that. Bad internet fame can follow you forever because the internet is forever. You know, you fucked around as a kid. Obviously, your feed is full of this video too, right?
Oh God, it's everywhere.
So many of them are so funny.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Everybody's stitching them and
making songs about it.
It is so good.
I fucking love it.
It's so good. All right, everybody, welcome back to another week in the Ice Shower After Work podcast. Jason is here again with me for another round. Back in the job trailer. Jason, my man, how you doing?
Good, my brother. How was your week?
It was good. I was outside. I was working with the street crew. Good group guys. So
at least it was fairly good weather for it this week. It wasn't perfect, but
yeah. I mean, minus a little bit of rain, which is better than what we've had in the past previous weeks. It was a whole shit ton of rain. I'll take it.
Wasn't any of it to just shut the job site down for the day or anything, was it?
No, we were delayed like an hour and a half on one day, and that was pretty much it. But
that's not bad at all then, buddy.
No, we were working on a signal system, which is always fun, standing steel and building intersections, people.
Yeah, shout out. I saw a bunch of road crews working on my drive over here today. Shout out to everybody working overtime on Saturdays. God love yous. I've been there. Sucks.
No, they've had to because all the rain. God, got to take advantage of the nice days.
Well, not to mention the season's so short here, so what are you going to do, I guess?
Right. How was your week? What'd you do?
It wasn't too bad, buddy. This is a pretty standard week for me. Bunch of service calls here and there. I'm getting ready for the summer to be over soon, and I know it's still early, but I'm trying to think ahead about watering my lawn more, taking care of my yard, things like that. So I've been spending a lot of time outside trying to get that stuff better.
Right.
But I know we've talked about it before, but I'm a homeowner now, and I'm a boring old man, so I like trying to get my yard to look nice because my neighbors make mine look like shit.
Oh, dude, I'm the same way.
Very good. Well, listen, man, I had a quick one I wanted to just throw at you today. Not exactly construction related, but sort of. We'll get there.
It'll be fun.
It should be fun. So listen, unless you've been under a large rock the last month, you have definitely seen videos of what they're calling the thua girl. And you've heard the saying that there's no bad press. Well, that's can't be said for the internet days, man. And it is a sad thing for this young woman. Internet fame definitely goes both ways, but it's a great reminder for the rest of us. You can't get away with shit anymore. So brothers and sisters, if you're listening, don't fool yourselves. The man is watching. So you've obviously seen this on the internet.
I love it.
It's coming across everywhere, right?
I love it. Yeah.
So for the people who might actually not know, if you have an angelic algorithm, this poor lady got caught on video partying outside and made a reference to what she thought was a good sexual idea of spitting on a man's
member.
Yeah, the man's member. And that's what she said in the video, thua and get after that thing or whatever. So she unfortunately got caught saying something she didn't want to say. And it's basically been a internet shitstorm ever since.
And you know what, man? I mean, props to her. She very much intended to say exactly what she said. She was in an interview that I saw that she's like, I was just being myself.
Right.
She was having a good time.
Exactly. Shout out to Katie Moorhead, poor thing, but she's making the best of it.
Yeah. I mean, she is making almost, if she does it right, she's making a business out of this one little thing.
Well, she has no choice now because she's lost her job. My understanding was she was a teacher.
Gotcha.
The school
I didn't know that part.
I think the school has since canceled her contract with them, and I can kind of understand why. Kind of tough to
who she was teaching.
It does depend on who she was teaching. Now, she looked pretty young, so let's assume it wasn't high school age kids. That would have been a problem.
That would have been a problem.
Yeah, you're not getting no respect out of your students after that, or the wrong kind of respect out of them, as the case may be.
Nah, and people have to remember that when they're on the internet, I mean, everything that's recorded, even though it's in your off time and you're doing it away from work, you still have this responsibility to your employer.
Like I said, the intro, man, the man is watching you.
Yeah. And it's just like,
with a capital M, buddy.
yeah, walk a fine line now.
So we know that like back in the day, buddy, you had to get the story of something messed up that happened at a party or a wedding or whatever from a friend.
And just trust them.
That's what it was. You had to trust the source or hear it from multiple sources.
Right.
I can only assume that these days you can't walk out of your house without being videotaped somewhere.
Oh, yeah. I've got security cameras on my house that records you as you leave.
Right, yeah. There's multiple ones in my place. There's ones on other houses on my street. You go to any gas station, business. I mean...
Well, and everybody's got a video camera in their pocket, man.
That's exactly.
And they're more apt to record something than help somebody.
Exactly.
Which is bullshit.
Which is bullshit. I've seen so many of those videos on my feed now where somebody's like getting hurt and they're filming it, or their own kid falling or getting stuck, and like, man, drop the phone, help your kid out.
Right. I mean, we all as parents, like, if your kid's falling over, we're going to laugh first and then see if they're okay.
Right.
But yeah, help your kid, help the guy that's getting his ass beat.
It seems only fair, right?
Like,
so on that note, man, I mean, we've talked about it briefly before, but most job sites, if not just getting in and out of a job site or places you are, especially with me in service, I mean, I know I'm on camera at all times.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, am I doing anything I shouldn't be doing at work? No. I mean, shit happens, right? But you got to know that no matter what, somebody's got you.
Oh, yeah.
You really got to keep your head together. Now, you can't pop a guy in the mouth for mouthing off anymore at the grocery store.
I mean, you can.
No, just that once.
Yeah, understand the consequences.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, can you think of an occasion where you definitely got away with something that these days would have been on the internet, would have been a problem for you?
Oh, fuck yes.
For sure, right?
Oh, God, yes.
Like,
I mean, you and I both grew up in the age that there was no cell phones in pockets. There was no recording devices. People didn't have security cameras unless they were big fancy houses.
right, yeah. Occasionally something gets caught on the old camcorders.
The cops didn't even have body cams when we were growing up.
Oh, right. No, the cops, yeah, no.
Or dash cams, for that matter.
Yeah, they had to get the cop that thought they saw you do something, come to the scene where this cop stopped you to confirm it was you.
Yes.
Like, you know. It's,
right.
yeah.
No, dude, I ran from the cops. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude.
if they had video camera, I would have got caught for some stuff for sure. You
Oh,
know,
I
nothing
would've been-
crazy illegal, but definitely I would have been in more trouble than I am now.
Egging, I egged the high school. Like,
They definitely would have caught that now.
Right.
At any school, business, whatever, right?
yeah, yeah. I think I launched like 18 eggs at that fucking thing.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know. Dude, yeah, doing stupid shit as a kid. Like I was saying, it's, I mean, yeah, you used to get the odd thing on a video cam because we used to have the TV shows, the America's Funniest Home Videos and shit, right?
Right.
And then occasionally, by a miracle, you got something great on photo.
Right.
But that hardly ever happened back in the day.
But I mean, when we were younger, like the video cameras, they were video cameras. Like you were holding something.
Yeah, that was
bulky,
a big rig, right?
right?
Yeah.
So if somebody was holding a video camera, you knew that they were holding a video. Like,
Yeah, if you were doing something goofy in front of that, that was normally intentional back in the day.
Right.
Or you didn't know. And like, I mean, I remember uncles, and especially uncles, dancing at weddings, annihilated drunk.
oh, those are the fun ones.
Right? 4 sheets to the wind. Now, you got to know, there's 50 of those cameras at least at every social function.
Oh yeah,
So-
for sure.
Now, do you think on job sites, there's a lot of that stuff getting reviewed now?
Oh, I guarantee you there is. I mean, we put up cameras on job sites all the time. Most of the cameras that I put up for job sites are like time-lapse cameras,
Oh, sure. Yeah,
so that they can show the owners and investors
yeah, the timeline of the build. Yeah, definitely.
progress of the build, right? But dude, I've up to recently working on job site. There's cameras in the hallways as the fucking place is being built, right? Monitoring what's going on inside the building. And I think maybe I'm a little naive, maybe I'm dumb. I think a lot of it happens to be because of all the theft and the break-ins that we've had.
Oh, listen, that's most of it, right?
Right.
Yeah, like I had an occasion in Lakeville a couple summers ago where somebody tried to break into my Connex overnight. doing a solar job. That's what we had for storage, right?
Yep.
The cops showed up. They reviewed the video camera at the convenience place that we were working at. And I mean, the funny thing was, it wasn't great video coverage.
Of course they ain't.
You know what
Not
I mean?
there.
But they're trying to ask me, like, are you sure this isn't one of your people? Like, they're wearing high-vis clothes. Yeah, they do that so that they blend in so it looks like they're... I'm real sure that's not one of my crew.
Right.
Right? And any of my crew also would have had a key.
Right.
They wouldn't need to try to pry in with the big bar and stuff
Right.
at 1:30 in the morning.
Everybody on the crew has those keys.
Right. When it turned out there was a night crew on this job doing exterior painting, they just looked at more cameras and were able to follow those two guys right around the corner.
Oh, wow. Holy shit. Oh.
Sorry, folks. Just had a weird internet computer glitch there. Everything went black for a minute, but I'm back.
The man's watching.
Yeah, see, listen, they don't even want us talking about it. I'm okay with the cameras on the job sites. The theft thing makes a lot of sense. It also does give them the availability to keep everybody honest, which they should be anyway.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
But, I mean, you got to know if you're slacking, they're going to see you slacking.
I want to say that the cameras are they're not there for nefarious reasons. Right?
No, they're not.
And they're not there for people to be big brothers. Now, is that going to be abused by general contractors, owners, stuff like that? Absolutely.
Abused or just used?
I mean, utilized.
Okay.
Right. I would go with the term utilized, but you know, if I've had a project where the PM called me up and he's like, hey, you know what? That light base looks really, really high that you just put in. I was putting sonotubes in on the site. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, well, I can see it. There's a camera up on top of the roof that I can log into and look at you. And I turned around and I gave the camera the biggest double finger flip that I've ever fucking given. And I'm like, can you see that?
Right, yeah.
And
Is
I'm
that
like,
clear? How's the resolution on that shit, motherfucker? Like, yeah.
He's like, yeah, I can see that. And I'm like, okay, so that camera's not down here at ground level. You can't actually see what the grade is. Yeah, it looks high. Shut up and leave me alone and stop bird dogging me.
Not to mention, you want to critique me? Get your ass out of that desk. Get the fuck down to the site.
Right.
Which, by the way, you ought to be doing more often anyway. Side note.
Yeah. Side tangent for all you PMs.
Yeah, unpopular opinion. PMs, we should see you out in the field a little more often.
A lot more often.
Yeah. So, and I mean, it's not only just that, too. I mean, like, we're talking about internet fame because if something goes wrong, things like that. I mean, but look, they track my van with GPS. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It actually gives me the availability to, for my own benefit and the company, drive slower when I'm going from one site to the other.
Right.
I shouldn't be in a rush anyway. We get in that mindset of wanting, okay, I got to get to the next one. I got it.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to cause accidents. And I actually and I even put a sticker on the back. They offer them at the shop. They kind of encourage everybody to do it, you know, like vehicle GPS monitored, you know, great. I notice people drive nicer around me.
Yeah.
They honk their horns less. They get less frustrated. They know. They're like, that guy can't drive like an asshole. They're fucking tracking him in the shop. Like,
right.
I like it a lot.
Well, and I'm not tracked. My truck is not GPS tracked, and I really like that.
There's some benefits to that.
Now, I am working with the safety director, or I was at one point working with him to look at dash cams for the truck. Because I'm going to get into an accident from somebody doing something stupid.
Probably.
Because people around here, and this is for everybody that lives in Minnesota, stop aiming for fucking commercial vehicles. You douchebags.
Stop cutting so close in front of bigger vehicles. Not even just commercial vehicles, but I mean, if the vehicle is way bigger than you, it means it slows down way slower.
Right.
Stop cutting us off. We can't jam the brakes on like you can.
And this whole no cop, no stop shit at red lights, fucking knock it off.
Man, it's getting fucking brutal
It's
out
getting
there.
bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Like, I can't believe there hasn't been more accidents I see. And I'm on the road so much. I've said this before on the podcast. I'm amazed I don't see 50 accidents a day.
Right.
With the amount of us that are on the road and the way people drive,
Right.
It's really incredible that there isn't more.
Yeah.
I think it's the conscientious drivers paying attention, keeping out of the way. I think the accidents we see are when two of the jackasses find each other at the same inopportune moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. But even at that, coming back to this, like most of those are recorded in some way or another.
For sure.
Right. Like, I would love to see more traffic cams up. Me personally.
It seems to be getting more and more common.
Right.
Right. Like, I mean, it used to be most intersections before. It's basically all of them now.
Well, and those don't have like true traffic cams on them.
No, a lot of them are just traffic. They look like that, but it's making adjustments based on the algorithm, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that is what it is.
Traffic flow.
Yeah.
Sensor shit.
But yes, I mean, things like this, I think it's good to keep employees honest. I've seen in the day people sleeping on the job. You know, I've seen people doing sketchy stuff. We've talked about it in safety episodes before. People are definitely losing their jobs these days or getting severely reprimanded because they're just not paying attention. They don't realize that somebody's watching. And even if it's not a security camera, there's going to be snitchy little jackasses on every job site.
All of them,
who instead of coming to you and going, hey man, I know you're going to think I'm a bitch, but that's unsafe. You probably shouldn't do that. No, they're just going to send that video to the PM or job super, whoever it is, right?
Right.
That's fucked.
Right.
But it's happening.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see more and more of it. I'm waiting for the times where we're forced to put like little itty bitty body cameras on like our hard hats or something like that.
That might be the day I tell everybody to get fucked. Right. That might be early retirement for me. I don't know that I'm interested in that. I do like your idea about the dash cams in the truck.
Yeah.
I'd be way down with that.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
The odds of it proving that you were at fault versus the protection of if it wasn't, it's a pretty fair trade-off if you drive safe.
Right. Well, and a quick story about that. We had a guy that he was on his way to the shop. He was our field soup. He was in the right lane. He had this big, huge, jacked up truck, guy with a little dick driving.
Yeah, the big,
next to him.
Big trucks.
And all of a sudden, that guy just fucking came over, just rammed him right in the side, hit him hard enough. He took his half-ton truck and moved it to the next lane. Like, he just bounced him into the next lane.
Dangerous.
Fucked up his brand new truck. Insurance, they called him. The insurance company called him, and they're like, well, are you sure you didn't hit him in your commercial vehicle? Motherfucker, just because it's as soon as they hear that it's a commercial vehicle, they automatically try to push that blame onto the company. It's like, no, your dude that you insured was a fucktard and ran me off the road.
Right.
Right.
I'm really surprised it's something that I noticed over the last few years. So for a bit there, and I'm sure they still have it with lots of companies, they'd advertise that if you got the little plug-in thing for underneath your dash with the insurance, you got a discount. You could prove that you didn't brake hard, you didn't speed very often, things like that, right?
Yep. I
know people are always real anti being watched, but since you're being watched already, that should almost be standard from insurance companies, I think. Unpopular opinion there, I'll admit.
I want those to be standard for young drivers, new drivers. New licensees, those should automatically just be like, no, this is what you're getting.
And as a parent, you're saying that because you want that report coming right to your email.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, then it forces kids to be like, no, I'm actually being monitored. Like,
if you know you're being watched in some way, it keeps you a little more honest, as I said.
There's the deal, right? When we were growing up, I learned how to drive better because I was fucking off in my car, spinning cookies and spinning out and doing shit. I was doing it anywhere that I was going to hurt somebody.
That you thought at the time.
Right. I was in open parking lots and shit like that. Like, I would break my car by hitting the curb before I hurt somebody else.
Well, exactly.
Right. Which I was okay with.
Yeah. To the point of this whole thing, back in the day, so let's say you're doing that. You're whipping shitties. It's a snowy night. You're having a good time. You clunk the curb. You crack your axle. You fuck your car up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, back in the day, you could have gone home and maybe fibbed a little to your parents and went, yeah, shit, I was driving, just lost control, and boom. They didn't know you were driving like a jackass.
Exactly.
Now, somebody has that on video.
Is recording it.
Somebody in that parking lot, somebody who lives close by, a security camera for the parking lot, somebody got that, and your parents are like, oh, you lying little piece of shit. Like I said, you can't get away with shit no more, right?
No, you can't. It's almost kind of sad, but it's almost kind of, like, I have mixed feelings about this whole deal. Because I think it's important for youth to fuck around and find out a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
But I'm also like, as a parent and as a homeowner that owns property, I mean, I don't really own it if you think Big Brother wise.
Right.
But no, I want to protect my shit.
And why wouldn't you?
Right. I've had people open my door and let my freaking animals out in the middle of the night before I had cameras. That's what prompted me to get cameras.
Well, I mean, you were talking about dash cams. I mean, dash cams don't necessarily do anything but bring your insurance down.
Well, in theory, yeah.
I mean, yes, it could be proven. I got a buddy, Tom, who recently got in a wreck with somebody during the back and forth of the insurance companies. He said he was providing his dash cam information in video to his insurance company. The other insurance company settled without even seeing it. He didn't have a fucking dash cam.
Well, there you go.
But the fact that it was on there, and between that and the police report, the other company's like, no, let's not waste all the fucking time and money here. Didn't even take time to look at it.
Really?
Yeah, if they had to call him out.
Skipped right over it.
Yeah, if they had to call him out, he'd been like,
It was damaged.
Yeah, even the threat of being on video now is enough to keep some companies from going, well, let's not fucking bother with all that. And they're also not legal in every state, right? I don't know what the information in Canada. It's not all 50 states that dash cams are illegal. Or are legal, pardon me. Now they say, yes, they're legal in every state, but it's whether they can be used in court.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's allowed to have one in their vehicle.
Right.
It's whether the video is useful for anything other than you just to try to argue and go shake it in the air going, look, this guy was driving like a fuckhead.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's all well and good to have it, but if you can't use it as admissible evidence, as they call it, well, then you're fucked anyway, right? So.
Right. And I don't know. It's, yeah, fuck. Like, I mean, what do you do though? Because you have to be able to protect yourself somehow.
Right.
And hearsay is just hearsay.
Which it always has been when it came to accidents mostly, unless it was obvious, right?
Right. And it usually then it came down to the police report. Right. And I've been on the end of that police report as the kid being a jackass.
Oh, right.
Which it wasn't my fault. It was shitty conditions. I wasn't hot rodding. But that's how he wrote it up. I was intentionally overdriving my vehicle. No, motherfucker, it was black ice. Leave me alone. There's nothing I could do.
Right, yeah, they call it stunting in Canada now. You get a ticket for stunting.
And ours is reckless driving.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, reckless endangerment. Not that I know that from driving my motorcycle or anything. I've never had one of those tickets, not once in my life.
No.
That's on the record. So, again, just a real quick one here today to remind everybody, like, definitely don't get yourself caught in this situation.
No.
If only for no other reason than, yes, you should be doing what you're supposed to be doing when you're working. But if you do get caught on video doing something you're not supposed to do, whether it was an actual accident or you made a mistake or you were trying to hack something in and all of a sudden, boom, busted, they got you. It's not just going to affect that job. You could now have been laid off for what they call cause. I mean, that stuff follows you, right? The same way we were talking originally about bad internet fame can follow you forever because the internet is forever. You know, you fucked around as a kid and maybe for the rest of that summer or a couple years, people are looking back on, oh, do you remember when John got drunk and fell over this and did that?
Dude.
But now there's no way you can get around that.
No. And that's the deal. Like, take Facebook. Facebook is a prime example. You get memories that get, refed to you. Like shit you did. I had one recent, it was 9 years ago.
Right.
Came up. Oh, do you remember this? I'm like, I was trying to forget that fucking thing.
Yeah, but there's no doing that anymore, right? Yeah, you used to be able to slowly go into anonymity. Right. Somebody else would do something. I mean, the internet is still the same way. Right. Once the next dumbass person comes out and does something they didn't mean to, this will slowly fade.
Yeah.
But it's always out there. You can look it up and find it. Oh, hey, remember who fucked this?
Right.
You don't have to go through a photo album. You don't have to look through the old family videos.
Nope.
Pull out the VHS. Nope,
it's all right there.
Yeah, and
you can use a search bar to find it.
Right. And for anybody who don't know what VHS is, thanks for listening. We need young listeners. Look it up on the internet.
We love y'all.
It's like a gigantic disc.
No, that was a laser disc. Do you remember those?
I do remember laser discs, yes. Side tangent there for sure.
And we're showing our age.
That's all right. We're going to show our age a few times here and there.
Get fucked.
Yeah. There's something else somebody pointed out to me when I was thinking about this episode too. Because we've talked about their use of data and things like that before, but the facial recognition going places now.
Oh, it's getting intense.
The companies are getting big into having that at the entrances within their, like, they want to know who's coming and going, and they don't trust the RFI cards. Is that right? RFI cards?
RFID chips. Yeah.
RFID. They don't trust that stuff as much as they used to.
No, because they can get duplicated.
Easily now.
Yeah, really easily.
Right. So this is kind of the new thing. Like even fingerprints I saw locally at a grocery store when they log into, I scan my bacon twice by mistake.
Right.
Well, if it's not somebody whose fingerprint is in the system to go in and change, nope. There's no codes or anything. You give your code to somebody else, but you can't give nobody your fingerprint. Well, that's a grocery store now.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Like they would come up to those kiosks to help you and they'd put in their code.
Right.
A smart person could actually like memorize that code.
Yeah, they're not 50.
It's a 5-digit code. Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can remember 5 numbers.
Right.
If not, I'll write it down when I walk out. Like,
Right.
as we were just talking, videotape them doing it.
Yeah.
It'll look like you're scrolling the internet while I fix that, and you're taking a video. Like, okay, next time I come here, I'll make sure I use that code so I don't get charged for half my shit.
Right.
So, yeah, because I, on that specific note, saw a guy get caught recently. I saw the news broadcast about it. He got caught on video because what he was doing at the grocery store was he had a sticker of a barcode on the side of his hand that he was scanning instead of the actual stuff, throwing it in. They caught him doing it like 10 times in a row. He had a cart full of meat.
Yep.
All of a sudden, they zoom in on his bill, shows like $17, whatever. He was just clicking newspapers or whatever it was for $1.99.
Yep.
Sneaky little bugger. But again, got caught because every single place got a camera on every entrance, this.
Yep. That's why Walmart's changing their policies because of that very thing. People were putting them on the bottom of their hands.
Right.
And running
their hand over and scanning, right? Sneaky little devils.
Yep.
I wish I was crooked enough to get away with some of that stuff.
I wish I didn't have a soul.
Right, yeah.
You know?
But that's the honesty that all the cameras will help out. The people who are being lazy, being jackasses, back to the construction part of it, job sites and whatnot. Yeah. Is it going to cost some people their jobs? Sure. But you know what? Good. Keep them honest, because I don't want to be lumped in with somebody else who's doing some lazy ass shit, not doing their job right, or being unsafe.
Well, and I don't want to glaze over the fact where desperation makes people do horrible shit, right?
We've talked before about the schedule, buddy.
Yep. And we've had a lot of problems here in this country with inflation and how expensive everything is getting. So yeah, I understand where, you used to go to Walmart, and I pick on Walmart. I hate the company, by the way. I'll just put that out there. But I use them because they're cheap. You could go and have a cart full of shit for $150, and now you get a bag for $100.
Right.
I mean, it's getting to the point where, yes, I understand why people are putting barcodes on their hands, where they're trying to Jew the fucking system. Jew the big man. Fuck. Walmart can afford the loss. Get bent. Like,
let's be real clear, everybody, just for a quick moment too. That was John's voice that said Jew the system there.
well,
sorry, buddy. I'm calling you out on that one. We're going to hear about that.
Yeah, I might have. Okay, I redact that statement. Fuck the system. Fuck the man.
Yeah, fuck the man. Yeah. I love it, buddy.
Some things won't.
Have you been caught on camera doing something that you wish the video was not out there?
No.
No.
No, not once.
All right. I will say I have one. Years ago, my brother-in-law and one of the family cousins were turning 40 on right around the same day. Mm-hmm. It might have been the same day, but I think it was just close. Well, anyways, quick story. They both were in a band in their youth through high school and post-high school. Okay, shout out Hash Brown. That's what they call themselves. Well, they wanted to get the band back together, quote unquote, for this birthday party.
For sure.
My brother-in-law, Sean, shout out to Sean, who does our intro music and outro music for us.
Sean's awesome.
Yeah, and at the time, I still played a little bit more guitar than I do now. I've given up since then. We jumped in to back them up to make up for some of the stuff they forgot throughout the post-high school to those years. Well, anyways, we're finishing up the first set of that night. We're having a great time. I had been drinking etc. all day. Yep. A lot of etc. Well, as we were turning up the volume and we're having fun and we're having a good time, unfortunately, the power load that we had put on for... Oh, we got a little technical difficulty. It's okay. I got to get that off my phone. Sorry, folks. Anyways, I digress. The power demand that we were putting on the house that we were at in the garage was a little too much. Well, as we were ramping up the end of that set, the breaker blew for the main for the house.
Oh, no.
So all of a sudden, everything went black. I thought I had passed out in front of my family. And somebody was videotaping this thing. I thought I had just had too much alcohol and fun that day. I thought I blacked out, and I said out loud, well, that's not good. And you can hear it on the video.
Oh, funny.
Now, fortunately, then somebody cheered. We realized, oh, no, the lights just went out. I didn't black out. Okay, that's great. That's on video.
Oh, funny.
Now, fortunately, the video that seems to have made its way to Facebook, that I did see the, hey, do you remember this? Came up just like you were saying. Fortunately, the video that got uploaded didn't include that part.
Oh, that's fine. That would have been the best part.
But somebody has it, and I've seen it, and it, even to this day, it was a little embarrassing. Like, oh man, like, yeah, I was really getting after it that day.
that's nothing like the Hawk Tua girl.
No, definitely not. That one, you can live that one down as a little bit, but even then, like in front of all my family, all the friends, it was a little rough. Well, I'm glad to hear you don't have one, man. That's good.
Right. No, I think that's just because I'm kind of a recluse.
You have said you're a bit of a homebody occasionally.
Yeah.
You'll get out and have fun, but...
I'll get out and have fun, but I usually watch my P's and Q's pretty good.
I've partied with you plenty of times. I have rarely seen you get out of control.
Right.
I have seen it.
Yeah.
But rarely. Yeah. And we won't talk about the one time you got a little emotional drinking, what was he used to drink? Makers.
Makers. God, dude, I stay away from that now.
Yeah,
I turned into a baby.
That was a bad time in your life. You had a rough evening that night, I remember.
It was a dark period in my life.
Yeah, that was a rough time. Anyways, we're
sometimes
not going to take a bad here.
I'll freaking say it. Sometimes even men, sometimes we just need to have a good freaking cry. God.
Well, you didn't mind saying it out loud, so yeah, no, you were emotional that day. You were having a rough one, buddy.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Makers.
That was a low point in my existence.
No, I blame the booze. To this day, I'm going to take that to my grave, buddy. I blame the booze. All right, so a quick recap here. Just as a reminder, everybody, you're being watched. You're being recorded. You're being followed. You're being tracked. It's not a conspiracy theory. Just a subtle reminder, a public service announcement from the ISAW podcast. Keep your head on a swivel because you can't really mess up now without it being tracked, recorded, videoed, something.
Yep, and it's only going to get worse. There's going to be more. There's going to be more cameras. They're going to be relatively easily accessible for everybody. I mean, you've got to start keeping your head on a swivel or just start being okay with your decisions.
Oh, that's what it's all about, right?
Right.
Yeah, taking ownership for what you do.
Yep.
If you're going to try to do something sketchy, just so you know, you're going to pay the price for doing something sketchy.
Yep.
I'm not saying we don't have to. I even occasionally will still have to do something that might not be right to the letter of the law as far as safety is concerned.
Yep.
Unfortunately, where I'm working, there's not a lot of that going on. But even then,
right.
I'm definitely recorded. I mean, I go into an average of, let's say, 10 locations a week on average, sometimes more, sometimes less, right?
Sure.
That's at least a dozen cameras every single time.
Yep.
So, yeah, just be willing, like John said, to accept the consequences of getting caught doing stuff because you can't get away with nothing no more.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'd hate to see someone lose their job because they felt under the gun schedule-wise and cut a corner.
Right.
And now it's right there for everybody to see live in HD, 4K video.
Yeah.
Fuck my life. You don't want to have that happen to you.
No.
So, quick public service announcement here. And once more, shout out to poor Kimmy Moorhead, the thua girl. I hope you make a bunch of money off of merch and shit over the next little while because...
Ride the wave.
It's going to take a minute for them to forget about what you did. And for everybody else, don't get yourself bad internet fame. We're eventually going to say something to get canceled on this podcast, but it hasn't happened yet, so we'll keep riding until then.
Yep. Absolutely.
Buddy, what do we want to tell the folks before we let them go here?
Well, first we want to say thank you to everybody that's tuning in, listening to us every week. It really actually does help. Make sure give us a review, like, subscribe on all of your platforms. It's how adults talk. But follow us on iShower After Work podcast everywhere that you want to actually look us up on. You can do a Google search. You'll find us kind of everywhere.
Exactly. And real quick before I forget, please DM, send us emails. Let us know what kind of merch you want to see. We've got our new logo online now. So if there's something specific, would be more interesting to you. I know everybody loves beer koozies and whatnot, but shout out. If you got an idea or you tell us what you want, we're going to go in that direction. So
Yep. And on top of that, DM us for episode ideas. If you really are passionate about something and you want to hear us either go down a rabbit hole or just dive in deep, we got another one coming up that one of our followers actually wanted us to take a little bit more of a rant down the EV line, so we're going to dig into that one a bit.
Yes, we had a lot of fun with the AI one, so thanks to John Littlefield once more for that. But yeah, definitely send us all your ideas. It doesn't have to be construction related, but we can probably spin it that way in one format or another.
Oh, we can always take it that way.
Yeah, so
most things we can get it spun back to construction, but other than that, you have routes to get a hold of us. You can Instagram, you can email, you can even text us at 507-607-ISAW 4729. And other than that, man,
I think that sums it up pretty good, buddy.
Is there anything else that you want to cover?
Not today. Thanks again for coming into the job trailer with us, everyone who's listening. We really do appreciate the support, as John said. And until next week, stay off the internet. Don't do anything dumb in front of a camera. And remember, your work keeps the world working.